Okay, as we hit the end of March here, customers are starting to ask what they need to do with their landscape. This quick video is just for you. We're going to be covering ponds, lawns, and landscapes. All right, first of all, our pond customers. We're getting lots of customers that call in and ask, do I need to clean my pond this spring? Well, the answer is maybe. When it comes to ornamental ponds, small fish, ornamental fish ponds, I'd say maybe 18 feet by 18 feet and smaller. Many of those customers will do their pond full drain and clean every single year, but it's not necessarily a requirement. Many times it's just because it's a good time to do a facelift, get up and close and personal with the fish, make sure everybody's happy and healthy, power wash the inside, clean the insides out, go through your filters, get it all up and running, and make sure that you're starting off the spring, everything looking great, and that's usually pretty cost effective and a good habit. However, if you're diligent of putting the net on your pond in the fall and your pond is not chock-a-block full of leaves, then it's not necessary to clean it. If you've been doing it, I recommend not going more than 2 to 3 seasons without a clean out. Can you skip them? Yes. I say, are you happy with the way the pond looks? If you don't need a pristine pond and your pond is in good shape and it's not full of leaves and the pond is happy, just do a startup. Clean your filters, get your filters running, fertilize your plants, cut back your plants, leave the core drain and clean alone. But definitely by the second or third season, you're going to want to do it. Nutrients can stop building up in that system. Mother Nature floods our ponds every spring. You want to do the same. Now for our lawn customers, the issue is also, what do I do and when do I need to do it? Well, there's 2 big things that we're focused on at this time of year. All of our accounts that we maintain, we're doing the same exact thing. 1, we're going to do a soil test and determine what's going on. More importantly, what our pH is in the soil. Lawns want to be around 6.5 on the pH scale. So if you are below that, if you're in New England, more than likely your soil is pretty acidic. So what we're doing is we're checking the pH, we're adding lime to the lawn. Now we use a fast acting lime because I want results quick. And so we're doing a fast acting lime now, then we're focusing on weed prevention and a fertilizer. That's typically done in a crabgrass and fertilizer combination. If you're familiar with lawn treatments, many people used to do a 4-step program. This is crabgrass preventative and fertilizer is step 1. So I like the Jonathan Green. That's what we're using in the field on all our accounts. It's been working great, but more importantly, pick the brand you feel comfortable with and make sure it says step 1 and specifically make sure it says crabgrass preventative. One caveat to all of this. If you have bare patches and you feel that you're going to need to touch up with grass seed in certain areas this spring, as much as it's not the best time of year to do it, I get it. If your front yard looks like junk or your backyard, sometimes we'll get a seed. You want to substitute out traditional crabgrass preventatives for one that says crabgrass preventative for new seeding. What that means is that regular crabgrass preventatives are marketed for controlling crabgrass. However, the chemicals that are in there are just going to stop seeds from germinating. It doesn't know the difference between your grass seed and your lawn. And so, or rather, your grass seed or weeds. It's preventing weeds, seeds in general from germinating. So the one that says crabgrass preventative for new seeding has both a starter fertilizer optimized for seedlings and it'll allow your grass seed to grow. It's an expensive product. There's only 1 or 2 chemicals that'll do it. However, if you're spending hundreds of dollars on grass seed, a little insurance to ensure that that grass seed is going to survive, it's money well spent. Now, the last thing is for our garden customers. Many people are going around looking at their landscapes and say, wow, winter beat up on it. A lot of big storms, a lot of branches all over the place. Our protocols for our garden customers now, we're going out, already started today, cut back all the plants. If you have ornamental grasses that you left up over the winter, if you have perennials that finished dying down to the ground and didn't get trimmed back in the fall, all of that you want to cut back and clean all those up. Sanitation is key in a garden to make sure diseases don't perpetuate from one season to the next. So cut back any perennials that didn't. If your perennials are getting overcrowded, if you found them last year flopping around a lot and not standing upright in the wind, they're probably crowded and really need to be divided. So in that case, the spring, while everything is still dormant, is a great time to get in there with a shovel. Just start cutting up the perennials into big chunks, move them around, get rid of some. It is better if I have a perennial that's a clump 2 feet wide, chop that up into quarters, move the other 3/4 of it to another spot and just leave one sizable chunk. Perennials need their space, and most of us tend to crowd them in a little bit too far. So once our gardens are clean, once our gardens have been weeded and all the plants cut back, Then we're gonna go back and we're gonna spread an organic fertilizer. We use Plant Tone, and it's an Espoma product. It's an all-purpose fertilizer. And I don't do organic just because I believe in organic. I do it because I find it works, and it's a slow release and more forgiving. You have to worry about putting it down too heavy and killing your plants. And then once I've weeded, trimmed my plants, cleaned up the beds, put a nice clean edge on it, then put a nice thick coat of mulch on there to protect and suppress weeds from coming back and to hold the moisture in the summer. Outside of that, that's the basics. That's cookie cutter. Do that on all your beds, and then from that point on, if you want it manicured and you like it like a magazine, you're out there keeping up on it. If you're like most of us, give it a good deep cleaning, good fertilizing in the spring, and then leave it till we're ready to plant some annuals later in the spring, early summer. Hope that helps, and let us know if there's any other questions. Thanks.